Mounds used a #1 seed for a reason. Very physical team, very well coached team. Your margin for error against those teams is pretty dang small. They exploited us on a couple things, and we couldn't take advantage of a few others. So that play at the beginning, I mean, man, love to have that throw back by 6 inches.
How did you feel about Misker tonight?
I think he did pretty well overall for what we asked him to do. So I'm pleased with him, and he played it really hard all the way to the end.
What about defense? The struggles in the past few games. You made some changes.
Yeah, that quarterback was very, very shifty. We even put specific people on him all night, and his athleticism just couldn't quite allow us to get a tackle on him. So we tried to have it schemed up. We game planned to scheme it up, but unfortunately that athleticism sometimes just takes over. And our kids battled, and we did some things in the second half to hopefully correct it going forward.
It seemed like there were some really positive points of the game. I mean, some strengths coming out. What were you seeing?
I thought we had a nice start. I mean, I wish we could have come away with touchdowns at the beginning instead of field goals, obviously. But I'm very pleased about how we battled all the way to the end tonight. I know that we could have tapped out or quit or just said this game's over. But if you were a fan in the stands, you saw our kids playing hard all the way to the end.
Shout outs.
Shout-outs. Got to go to Zach Carr. Watching him run around at the end, that was a lot of fun. Epitome of toughness. Cody Akins continues to just be a heck of a player on both sides of the football for us. Brian Wright at the end, too. He played his butt off on defense, but also just not quitting, right? He gets the ball in his hands, and he's scrapping and clawing and fighting all the way. So got to give those guys some shine. And then Robert Schmitzel on defense had a heck of a night, and he got a coaching point at the beginning of the game to fix something, and he did, and then he clearly had a heck of a time on the stat sheets.
Stillwater, boys are already talking about that to me tonight. They don't seem nervous. They seem ready to pop in and do what they need to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing you can control, right, is your preparation and get ready for the next opponent. So I'm glad to hear that. And they're obviously a very good team as well. So I'm excited to get back to work next week.
How's it feel? Last game in the stadium for the season?
Hopefully. Always a heartbreaker, right? And even if it's a different outcome, right? Because you know that your time on this particular field is over with, and you want to send your seniors out in a different way and your last game out in a different way. But I'm proud of how we finished.
Aiden, talk about the game.
I feel like it just came down to us just not doing our assignments at times, and we just mental errors at the most. We are there physically. We're there mentally until we get to the point on the field where we get a little bit of just something in our way, and I feel like we lose our heads, and we don't recover it until we get a break. And I feel like that, in my opinion, is one of the things that really kills us out there. And I feel like this team really has something, without a doubt. I believe we have something. I just feel like we got to get our emotions in check, and we just got to get it down because we're a good team. Like last week, we played a really good game, and we didn't lose our heads. And I feel like that's the thing that if we did tonight, it would have been a much closer game, and it would have came down to key few plays. And that's what I think about this game.
Next week with Stillwater, what are you feeling like you want to prepare for?
I'm feeling like we need to come in with the mindset that we lost, but the mindset that we can win. Not the mindset of, we're so good, we're going to beat these guys, because realistically we have to be the team that'll come in and work our butts off to earn it, not just because we're a good team or a bad team or whatever. We just have to come in and we have to bust our butts in practice, and that's where it starts. Stillwater's a good team. I'll never second guess their ability to play the game of football, but I believe that if we just put our mind to it and just do our assignments, we're a good team, and we can hold up a really good game against a really good team.
I just feel like the game, it could have went a lot better. Could have minimized the run game a lot more, but they weren't really passing a lot. They were just running the ball a lot. We couldn't execute on that, so we just gotta improve on that going into Stillwater next week and hopefully come out with a dub.
How'd you feel about your own performance?
I feel like I did pretty good. I had a couple tackles. I made a couple big plays. Impacted the game a little bit. But
Stillwater next week. How are you feeling about that?
they're a really great team, but we are as well. So I feel like we can come out there. If we come out there with a positive attitude, we can come out there with a win.
Okay. What are you going to work on in practice this week?
Definitely working on my press and my catch technique. Making sure touching that up a little bit. Definitely working on tackling. Had a couple missed tackles as a team. Had a lot of missed tackles. We got to wrap that up, get that fixed, and I feel like it should all be better.
What did you think as a whole for a team, as far as what have you learned about them from the beginning to now towards the end?
Our team?
Yeah.
I just feel like, season at the start of the season it was kind of shaky, like guys didn't really trust each other. But I feel like as the season came along more, I feel like we created that bond, and we just became a lot closer with each other.
Tanner, talk about offensively how you guys did tonight.
Very, very slow starts. We had some things clicking, but not everything for us to succeed. And it's just the small things that got us tonight in the end, and we need to fix those up. That's pretty much it.
How was their defense to go up against?
They're doing what they could, and they were making some plays. I'll give it to Robbie. Man, he was in there every single time. So it was fun to watch him. We're all just out here having fun. So, like I said, I think with a long week or a short week, because we play on Thursday, with some good practices and fixing all those small things that add up to big things, I think we should be fine. And I know they're a really good team, like really, really good team. So, but we're ready to compete and we want it bad. So, we'll be ready.
It's a tough one. They're a good team. Like Coach said, just little room for error against good teams, and they just came out on top. They prepared well. There's some things that we didn't execute today in the game that we've been preparing for during practice, and those little things just come back to bite you in the butt.
Was there anything that they did tonight that was unexpected that you had to kind of pull back and figure out?
Definitely some injuries, especially on the defensive side. A lot of people got banged up, and we had to put in some people in unfamiliar, uncomfortable situations. But we're going to learn from that, and we're going to try to get better this week at practice.
Homecoming, is it disappointing?
Yeah. It definitely sucks. Everyone wants to win. This one's going to hurt a little bit, but we just got to move on next week.
Stillwater, what's that going to look like for you?
I think it's just going to be, we're going to have to come ready during practice every day of the week. They're no joke. They're a good team, so we gotta be prepared. We gotta lock in, and just come ready to punch them in the mouth.
So heard your name a lot tonight in a positive way. You had a great game. Talk about how did things go offensively for you?
Offensively, we tried a lot of new things that we had practiced, and unfortunately, it didn't. I would say we didn't execute to how we should have, and I think we could have done a lot better. Yeah, we did. We really were not as prepared as we should have been for this team. We knew they were a great team, but we didn't execute to our fullest potential.
What are you looking for yourself?
Looking forward for myself, working harder at. I'd say look forward for myself, trying to make more plays happen. Yeah, not to get tackled after first contact, and fight through every tackle that comes on.
Okay.
Stillwater, I feel like we got to come way more prepared than what we did. Practice, we got 110% practice. We're not having no light practices. We just have to play way better than what we did today. Way better.